In the year 2024, I read 50 books. The year before that, I barely finished one. And here's the thing, I am a slow reader, like painfully slow. I read at almost conversational pace. Friends of mine would blow through a book twice the size in half the time, and I'd still be on chapter 3. For most of my life, I just assumed reading wasn't for me, which kind of saddened me because I thought books were cool. Turns out, I just hadn't figured out how to do it my way yet. If you grew up thinking you weren't a reader, I want you to hear this. You probably weren't bad at reading, you just hadn't found the right book, the right format, or the right system. Because here's what's actually true about me. I was good at spelling, I liked writing, I could follow a story just fine when someone read it to me. I wasn't a bad reader, I just hadn't cracked the code on how I read. And I think a lot of people are in that exact same spot. So let me tell you what changed for me and exactly how you can steal the system I use now. Growing up, I was a massive Star Wars fan. Still am. My sister thought it was a phase. And I had some really good English teachers, and so when they wanted to get me into reading, they'd steer me toward sci-fi. Made total sense on paper. Problem was, I didn't actually like sci-fi. I liked Star Wars, which interestingly is more of a space fantasy than true science fiction. It's been dubbed a space opera. It's more mythological than scientific. The space backdrop is basically just a little seasoning on top of a hero's journey. So I'd try sci-fi books and they'd fall flat. I didn't realize the genre I actually loved was staring me in the face the whole time. I just hadn't identified it yet. The one exception that broke through? The Hunger Games. I read Catching Fire in a single day while I was sick at my sister's house with nothing else to do. And I was genuinely stunned by myself. People who knew me would not have believed it. But then again, I didn't like every book that was like The Hunger Games. It wasn't the genre, it was the specific story. The point is, don't give up on reading because one genre didn't click. You probably just haven't found your book yet. When I was in high school, I had to choose a book from a self-improvement category for a class. I picked Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Not because I was some ambitious overachiever, just because it looked interesting. And something clicked. I remember reading it and thinking, wait, there's a higher way of thinking about this stuff? That you don't have to just react to everything life throws at you? That you can actually be intentional and proactive? That there was a higher mental plane of viewing the world was new to me. I didn't finish it. Slow reader, other assignments, life, but that was my first hint that nonfiction wasn't just biographies. Before that, when I thought nonfiction, I thought biography, and the old me thought boring. What I didn't realize is there's an entire library of books out there specifically designed to help you live better. And I had zero ideas that world existed. That changed everything. Fast forward a few years. I had a train commute and I wanted to use that time for something useful. I thought about maybe podcasts. But that's when I discovered Libby, the app that lets you access audiobooks and ebooks completely free with a library card. I started listening on my commute. Ready Player One, Star Wars, Lost Stars, which actually had sound effects and music woven in and had me completely hooked. It was one of the few Star Wars books that really interested me and had me on the edge of my seat. The problem was the wait times for Libby. I started looking into subscription models like Audiobooks.com or Audible. Here's where I was using Libby wrong for way too long. Years even. And this is probably the most useful thing in this video, so pay attention. When you search for your library on Libby, a bunch of libraries in your area show up. Naturally, you click your library. Done, right? Wrong. What I didn't realize is that many libraries have partnership agreements. That means you can enter your single library card into multiple libraries in that network and access all of their catalogs at once. So I jumped onto this and decided I would try it for a while, and then when I come to a point where I'm waiting too long for books, I will start one of the audiobook subscriptions to supplement my reading. So here's what you do. Go into Libby, type in your zip code, and see every library that comes up. Try entering your card into each one. Some will work, some may not. But the ones that do just massively expanded your library. When you search for a book using deep search, Libby can then pull from all of them and tell you which library has it available right now, or which one has the shortest wait time. Some libraries give you 14-day checkouts, others give you 21 days. The details vary, but this one change, I stopped running out of books almost completely. It's been 2 years since I thought I needed to pay for Audible. I still haven't needed to. Now, to be fair, every once in a while I come across a book that none of my libraries have. But with the amount of books I have on my to-read list now, it seems I'm never without a book on Libby. Go get a library card if you don't have one. Take a utility bill to prove your address. It takes 15 minutes and it's free. A couple years ago, I didn't identify myself as a reader. Now I do. Here's where I want to be honest with you. Knowing about Libby wasn't what made me a reader. The habit is what made me a reader. And building that habit looked like a lot of small, unsexy decisions stacked on top of each other. It started with listening at 1x speed and barely keeping up.
Then 1.25x. Then 1.5x. And eventually 2x.
Which is where I am now. Going back to 1x speed today feels like
slow motion.
But you have to start somewhere. And starting slow is not failing. I started listening during my lunch break, while walking, steps and knowledge at the same time. I've got a whole video about walking. I'll link it in the description. And during all this reading, I learned about the importance of sleep. And that led me to a nighttime reading habit. At 10 p.m., I'd open a physical book and read for half an hour, sometimes following along with the audiobook, and then lights out at 10:30. That routine became a ritual, one that I should probably get back to. Then the company I worked for did a Christmas raffle. 2 months earlier, I would not have wanted a Kindle. But right before the raffle, I'd started researching them, trying to find an affordable one. And then I actually won one. The same one I had been looking at. I'm sure my coworkers were surprised at how excited I was to win a Kindle. I've used it ever since, especially on vacations or when I don't have a physical copy of a book. The best part is, I can borrow Libby books and read them off my Kindle. And if a Kindle is something that interests you, I'll leave a link in the description to one like mine. None of this happened all at once. It was a series of small steps over about 2 years. Here's what turned it from a habit into an obsession, in a good way. My library had a summer reading program, and I discovered they also had something called a Book Nerd Reading Challenge. Read 50 books in 1 year. And I'd been reading about the concept of a Misogi challenge from Michael Easter's book, The Comfort Crisis. The idea of setting one big goal per year that you might fail at. Something hard enough that you're genuinely not sure if you can do it. 50 books in a year became my Misogi. Going into the final week, I was at 48 books. I just barely made it to 50 before New Year's. And this is coming from someone who barely finished one book in the previous couple of years. Then I did it again the following year, 2025, 50 books, all my own choice. This year, 2026, I'm following 50 categories set by my library, which is harder, and we'll see how it goes. It's causing me to branch out a little, which is not a terrible thing. Right now, I've read or listened to a book every single day for about 150 days in a row. But honestly, the streak isn't what matters to me. There's going to be a day when life gets chaotic and I don't read. That's okay, because I've done the thing that matters more than any streak. I've made myself a reader. I wouldn't have said that about myself a few years ago. Now I would. The library reading challenges, the sense of community, these all help keep me motivated. But it was the success of reading books that was the real reward. Becoming a reader. That identity shift is the whole game. Here's my actual recommendation if you're sitting where I was sitting a few years ago. Step 1. Get a library card. Bring a utility bill, takes 15 minutes. Step 2, download Libby. Add every library in your partnership network, not just your home library. Step 3, start with a book that sounds genuinely interesting to you, not what someone else thinks you should read. If you're not sure what to read and you want a specific suggestion, start with Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's full of fascinating stories, it's practical, and it'll be a good starting point that will naturally point you toward other books you may want to read next. Step 4, start slow. 1x speed, shorter sessions. Don't try to read for 2 hours on one day. Get a cheap set of Bluetooth headphones. Yes, I wear purple Bluetooth headphones. I don't really love earbuds. I like the headphones. And I think these cost $12 at Walmart. I had a black set and they ended up breaking. Like I said, cheap. But these have lasted a while. And then go on a walk while you listen. Start with easier reading levels if you want. I'm going to admit, one of my favorite fictional series I've read recently is Spy School. It's for middle grade readers. For the most part, you know the main characters are going to make it to the next book. In my opinion, it's also hilarious. There is no shame in starting with what you want to read. Step 5. Find a challenge or program through your library. The external structure helps more than you'd think. And my library program actually led me to winning a 17-inch Blackstone grill in a raffle last year, which I'll probably bring up in a future grilling video, so don't forget to subscribe. The bottom line, you may not be a slow reader. Like working out, your reading muscles just need time to stretch and grow. You may just not have found your genre, your format, or your system yet. I'm proof that all three of those things can change. If getting into reading has you curious about building other habits, or if the idea of reading about habits sounds like exactly the right place to start, click this video next. I break down the most interesting habit books I've read and what each one actually taught me.